Revenge films.
My name is Ryan, and I live with my wife Sarah and our son Ted. I make a decent living, which is why Sarah opted to stay at home as a housewife and take care of our house and son. When Ted was a small child, Sarah took good care of him in our house. But when Ted was in his final year of elementary school, Sarah stopped doing the household chores. She also stopped making time for Ted and would focus on the things that she wanted to do. I decided to have a conversation with Sarah regarding her sudden change in behavior. Where's Ted?
He was being so annoying that I sent him to his room. I'm watching my favorite TV show, but I couldn't concentrate because of him.
I noticed that you stopped cleaning the house and barely make time for Ted. What's going on, Sarah?
Nothing is up. But now that Ted is growing up, he's not the little cute boy that he used to be.
What kind of reason is that? Ted is our son. You should love him at any age.
I'm just being honest. I can't help the way I feel. I'm sick and tired of taking care of you and Ted all the time. I want to be left alone.
After our conversation, Sarah became even lazier and would spend her days napping on the couch. I had no idea what was going on with her, but I wasn't sympathetic. And I was getting sick of being married to someone like her. But I had to think about Ted's feelings too. The best thing for our family was to have Sarah go back to the way that she was, when she was still likable and nice. I told Sarah that if she continued to behave this way, I would have no choice but to divorce her. I'm home!
Hi, Dad.
Ted! Thank you for tidying up the house. I'm so grateful for your help.
I know how hard you work. I also made us some dinner.
I was touched by Ted's gestures. Thanks so much. That looks delicious. Let me make us some steaks to go with the meal that you prepare.
Yay! I love the steaks that you make, Dad. I'm assuming that I get a steak too, right?
Do you really think that you deserve one after the way that you've been behaving?
If you're trying to hint at a divorce, I'm not getting one. If you try to divorce me, I'm not giving up custody of Ted.
I realized that Sarah was not going to change for the better. Our marriage was irreparable. When I saw her devouring the steak and meat that I had prepared for dinner, I was put off by her.
Hey, save me some of the meat. Don't be so greedy, Ted.
You're the one that's being greedy, Sarah. Ted is a child. He's allowed to eat as much as he wants to.
Then can you prepare some more meat? I'm still hungry.
I had no idea why Sarah was acting all self-righteous. What was the matter with her? Some time passed, and Ted and I were practicing for his sports festival. We were at the park, and Ted was practicing running when he fell over and scraped his knee. I took him home and washed off the blood on his knee and put a band-aid on his cut. Sarah was on the couch, playing a game on her smartphone.
How could you be so careless, Ryan? That's borderline child abuse. If the court finds out how you treat our son, he won't be able to get custody of Ted. It wouldn't be a good idea for you to try to divorce me.
Everyone can see that Ted cut his knee by accident. I'm not abusing him, and you know it. Stop making ridiculous accusations.
Stop yelling at me. I could sue you for domestic violence.
I was so furious with Sarah that I forgot that Ted was in the same room as us. I'll make sure that you don't get custody of Ted. You're a lousy mother, Sarah.
I could say the same thing right back at you. Besides, I need Ted in my life. I won't be able to ask you for child support if you get custody of him.
What kind of a mother are you? You don't care about Ted at all. You just want to steal my money.
Ted would rather live with me than you. I'm his mother. Even if you try to divorce me, I'm not giving up my parental rights.
I don't want to live with you, Mom. I want to stay with Dad. He takes better care of me and doesn't hit me like you do. I hate you.
Ted started crying, and Sarah became angry because of it.
That was our secret, Ted. You weren't supposed to say anything about this to your dad.
Sarah tried to grab Ted, but I stopped her, and then she stormed out of the house. After Sarah left, I sat down with Ted and listened to his side of the story. I was shocked and furious to find out how Sarah had been treating him this whole time. Tell me everything, Ted. There's no need to hold back.
Mom hits me all the time and I'm scared of her.
I don't believe this. She has no right to do such a horrible thing to you.
The other day, she hit me hard with the remote control.
Ted then showed me a black bruise on the side of his body. I found out that Sarah had been abusing Ted these past few years. What she did to him was unforgivable, and I was going to make sure that she was punished severely for this. I decided to file the divorce papers right away and do everything in my power to protect Ted from his monstrous mother. I wasn't going to allow Sarah to see Ted anymore. I told my parents about Sarah and asked for their help in keeping Ted safe from her. Sarah came home the following day and acted like nothing had happened between us. A few days later, I had gathered everything I needed for the divorce. Today was the last time that I was going to speak to Sarah face to face. Sarah, I need to speak with you.
What is it? I'm in the middle of a game right now. Can't it wait?
It can't wait. It's urgent. Sarah seemed annoyed, but she put down her phone and faced me.
I'm listening. Make it quick.
Do you have any intention of raising Ted and taking care of the house, like you promised?
You should be grateful that I married you. Why do I have to take care of the house? And Ted is your son. You should raise him.
Fine. I'm going to take care of the house and Ted on my own. You can take a break and rest at your parents' house.
Great idea. I deserve a break. He'll realize how much I do for this family once I'm gone.
Sarah packed up her things and left to stay with her parents. After she left, Ted and I packed up the rest of Sarah's stuff. I also included the divorce papers and shipped everything over to her parents' address. Ted and I were so happy to start over without Sarah. The following day, I received numerous calls from Sarah, but I ignored them. I went to the park with Ted again to practice for his sports festival. On our way home, we saw Sarah heading towards the house, so we ran home and locked the door. Sarah tried to open the door, but I had changed the locks, and she was unable to. Frustrated, she started screaming in front of the house.
Open the door, you idiot! How dare you try to kick me out of my own house? How many times do I have to tell you that I don't want a divorce?
I don't care how you feel about this! I'm leaving you!
You told me that I could depend on you financially when we got married.
Sarah was adamant about not getting a divorce, so I took my case to court. I told her that I had already hired a divorce lawyer.
We can sort this out now without a lawyer going to court.
If you continue to make a racket in front of the house, I'm going to call the police! After I mentioned the police to Sarah, she finally gave up and left us alone. I met Sarah with my lawyer several times to discuss the divorce, but she wouldn't give in so easily. Sarah demanded that she get sole custody of Ted, but her appeal was denied due to the fact that she had abused him. Ted also made it clear to everyone that he wanted to live with me and not her. I was able to get sole custody of Ted as planned, and a restraining order was issued against Sarah, forbidding her to come see Ted. Our divorce was finalized, and in the end, Sarah didn't get any of the things that she wished or asked for. Even after our divorce, Sarah was persistent and would call me often. It's not that she missed us. She just needed me to continue supporting her financially. She would call me between 50 to 100 times a day, and so I reported it to the police. The police spoke to her and told her to stop harassing me. After that, she never bothered Ted or me again. Ted and I were very happy living together. He was very helpful with the household chores, and I appreciated his support. Now that his abusive mother was gone, Ted began to smile again, and he no longer appeared to be frightened. Ted joined the baseball team, and on the weekends, we would play catch in the park as practice. We got more things done together than when Sarah was around. We were happier than ever. As for Sarah, she continued to lead a lazy life, and so her parents didn't pay much attention to her. She spent her days locked up in her room playing games on her phone. What a sad life. Because Sarah never went out, she gained a lot of weight and became ill. I guess that she'll be spending the rest of her life alone in her bedroom.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.